Hey everyone, I'm Sapphire and I am here today with CLG Red, one of the women's teams playing in the Rise and VCG Game Changers presented by Dignitas. Joining me, we've got BENITA, NAOMI, and RISE. Hey y'all, thanks for being here.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having
Hello.
us.
Thank you so much.
Of course. We'll start with some quick introductions, but just doing something a little different. Instead of introducing yourselves, I'm going to make each of you introduce someone else. so um, let's start with BENITA. Why don't you introduce us to NAOMI?
I met Naomi from CS. She has mostly just a CS background. Um, she was always very much involved in the women's competitive scene when it came to Counter-Strike, and um, yeah, she's a great teammate. She has a really bubbly personality, very fun, loving, kind, sweet girl.
NAOMI, introduce us to Rise.
I met Rise back in October when I was first trying out for this team, and she is our smoke character. So she plays like Astra, Omen, and stuff, and Viper. Um, I she did play a lot of CS, and there are like a few like pro players that actually like recommended for her to try out for this team. So she's got pretty good rep. She's really nice, really funny, really fun to be around.
Rise might have the hardest one here just because BENITA's got like such a long history.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
Rise, where did it all start?
well, basically, everybody knows Benny. She played CS back in the days a lot. She competed a lot, and she's our captain, which means she like picked out all of us and made this great team. Um, she's our IGL, and she plays like mostly Sova and stuff. But yeah, she's really sweet. She's awesome, and I love her. She's great.
Awesome.
There's nothing much to say because you guys
See,
already
that's
know
why I
her.
do this because it's so wholesome. Because otherwise, everyone's too humble to brag. There we go. So it's good. Yeah, talk to us about the transition from CS to Valorant. Like, what was some of the hardest things, and what do you like better?
I had a lot of like challenges internally, like letting go of something that was part of my life for so long. Just like with anything though, like if you let go of like, I don't know, any hobby that you were doing for so long, it's always a struggle to let go of it. But it's something like I did with like it's something like I just knew I had to do. Um, just for myself, my personal growth, my mental health, my everything, like everything that I at that point in my life where I was, because I started Counter Strike when I was 9. So being that young and then growing up in that community and then growing into like the woman like or the age that I am now, I just felt like I really needed to move on. And I just knew Valorant was it, especially coming from CS 1.6, and I had heard that, you know, pro players from 1.6 were working at Riot and developing this game, and it just like all clicked for me. Like it just made sense.
Obviously your team has been playing in, I feel like, a number of different women's events. I see over the past couple months. Is there any sort of like rivalries you formed against teams? I know you've played TSM a lot. Obviously, Dig and CLG was always a rivalry in CS. Do you have any rivals right now that you're really excited to play against?
Um, I'm personally really excited to play against TSM. Every time I play against them, they seem very, very prepared, and I respect that. Like, I love playing against a team who shows up, um, playing their own game, and then also playing to the disadvantage of the other team. So they seem very prepared every time I meet them in a server.
Right. What are your team's expectations for the upcoming VCT Game Changers? Where do you see your team placing?
We're definitely aiming for that first place.
Good.
Like that's it.
Awesome. Who wants to introduce me to your other two teammates that will be playing in the event? I believe Chobo is part of CLG, is that correct? And then you're looking for
Yeah.
a fifth? Yeah.
So we do have 4 assigned players. Chobo is our 4th. Chobo's
What role? Oh, go on. Sorry.
Chobo plays like a duelist, like secondary duelist. She's kind of our flex agent, to be honest. Like whatever we really need, like she'll just pick it up and play. So I really admire that about her. She's not like sensitive to her role or anything. She's very just open about that. Our 5th is Claudia. She has a heavy CS background. I actually know of her from CS, and she wasn't really ever in the competitive scene, but I had seen her around. I ran into her a lot in Valorant beta, like in ranked games, because she would always queue West, and then back then I was always like queuing West too. I had bad internet, so I would just put it on West, and then she was like almost in all of my games, and then I tried like searching for her and I found her. So this was like way before CLG Red had even started in Valorant. So yeah, she's currently our jet.
Great. Cool. So Rise, to you as the the Astra player, the Viper player, did you catch any of Masters 2 recently? And if so, did you pick up any interesting tips or tricks? Because I know there's a lot of interesting Astra and Viper stuff in that event.
Yeah, definitely. We all pretty much watched it and tried to learn from the best. And yeah, we picked up a few things. I'm excited to try out.
Amazing. So obviously there's a lot of women probably watching this that want to be in your place. They want to be pro gamers with a tier 1 org. What piece of advice would you have for those women that want to get into competitive Valorant and hopefully make it to a pro team? And I'd love to hear from each of you. Whoever wants to go first.
I guess I'll start. Before, I never had a really like competitive experience. This is actually my first like competitive team, and I had no idea that this would happen to me. So my advice would be to never lose hope, but to keep grinding and expect the best, because you never know what could happen.
Any final shout outs, partners, moms, boyfriends, anyone?
I'll just say thank you so much to CLG for believing in us, and thank you so much to Dignitas for putting on this amazing tournament, and Riot and the community and just everybody involved, always doing an amazing job.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for your time, ladies. Wishing you the best of luck in the event and can't wait to see what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.